No one could see it but me. Yeah, it's on public now. Now I see where I can fix that too. Is anybody there? Hello? Is anybody out there?
Is this mic on?
Let me tell Shan here.
Yeah, something's still not right.
I told Shannon to go see.
Because we usually have our early birds that jump right on.
There we go. Now somebody's there.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Kathy.
Hey. Oh, there she is. Okay, thank you. We were thinking that it was not work. I mean, I had it on a minute ago, and it was set to only I could see it on private.
Okay, I'm going to move this a little bit.
No, to do it.
There we
Everything
go.
seems to be not working properly on here for me
Yeah.
lately, and it's like I'm not able to download my videos, but I found a way of workaround last night, so we got that going.
Y'all, I walked in a while ago, and Angela was dead asleep on the couch, and she woke up in almost like a panic.
Yeah, it was because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know where I was. I thought for some reason that maybe I forgot to pick up Dylan at school. I just was freaked out. I hate it when that happens when you wake up kind of and you're discombobulated like that.
Yeah, I do too. That's why I don't take naps. Because when I take a nap, when I wake up, that's how I feel, and I just can't get back right the rest of the day.
I know that feeling. I hate it, and that's how I am now. And I usually don't. I'm a good napper, but lately I don't know. I can't not. It's like I'm falling asleep left and right. I don't know what's going on. I can't seem to like sit in a car line at school and I sit down in front of the TV. I don't know. So I guess maybe I need to sleep a little bit better at night. You like my teacup, by the way? My kid got me that for Christmas 2 years ago. I cannot tell you how much I love English tea, and she got me a whole set. And golly bum, I just love it.
It looks very
English.
It looks very British, very sophisticated, very much like something that Mrs. Bucket would use.
Yes, people say I
Keeping up
remind them
appearances.
of Mrs. Bouquet,
Mrs. Bouquet.
which is not a compliment, but I don't think. But hey,
Okay, take a good sip of your tea and then let's dive in, shall we? First thing I want to ask you is our usual thing, like what have you seen this?
go ahead.
Oh, okay, I thought you were telling me to
No,
pause.
no, I just thought of something. Go ahead.
Okay. Usually right off the bat, you'll tell us what the trends you've seen this week among your clients, themes. So what's going on this week?
Well, I don't know exactly. I think it's just been more random again this week than usual, and I can't remember, to be honest, but right at the moment. But also because I am still discombobulated, but I'm gonna go back to my tea because that made me think of a story, a very easy short story. Don't worry. But I was at the trade law a while back, and I love China. I mean, not all China, just certain China, and it's always English. And I went into this place and they were selling all the stuff that they sell at a place like that. And there was a set of china there. And it was similar to this. It was old. It was really old. And I went and looked at it and I started to weep. Not sob and like can't catch my breath crying, but like there's tears, and it's like this sense of homesickness. It was the
Wow.
most weird. And I wanted it so badly, but it was like $100. I didn't have I don't still have $100 for something like that. And it would just, I didn't have that kind of money, but it made me so, I don't know, homesick. Never been to Great Britain in my life. I mean, I am, obviously most of us are around here. That's where I'm descended from, but I don't know. It was weird, and I think maybe, honestly, I think past life memory. And I
That's what I
think
was
that
thinking.
gave me that sense of going home, and maybe that's a remnant of why I have such a soft spot for TNT sets. And I haven't been using it lately, and I don't even know why. It's like I look at it, I enjoy looking at it. I know that's crazy, but I just enjoy when I'm eating my dinner or whatever, and I sit in the cabinet in there, I kind of just enjoy the way it's so pretty and whatnot. But I used to use my teacup daily, but I don't know.
So, what's going on this week with your clients?
Honest to God, I don't know. Except
Okay.
I will say this: maybe a sense of remembering. Yeah, I want to say the trend would be people remembering. Yesterday, I actually thought, oh, this is the theme for this week. I forgot the theme.
Gotta be on the lookout for it now.
This is what happens when you take a nap in the middle of the day. Remembering. I want to say it's about remembering. Remembering one's childhood, where one's been, looking back. Yeah, it's been about remembering. And I think that's going to shift to looking forward and dreaming and planning and wishing and hoping. I think that's going to change to that. But right now it seems like, I guess before you can see where you're going to have to look back and see where you've been.
Okay. While you're taking a sip of your tea, I want to show you a little energy technique, and you guys might find this useful too. And I get this stuff from Donna Eden's work. If you're interested, you can look her up online. She's this wonderful lady who was born being able to see energy. So she's come up with techniques for, self-healing and working better with other people just by manipulating energy. Here's a real simple thing. If you're working with an audience or even just having a conversation with somebody and you feel like you're not connecting, there's an energy field. You have one, your audience, if it's one person or 100 or 1,000, has one as well. And then there's the energy that flows between you. And all this energy, if it's flowing correctly, it's flowing in figure eights. So for us to connect, optimally with the people who are watching right now, you just want to do a figure eight between us and them. Just like that, just a figure eight in between you and whatever the person or people is that you're talking with or trying to communicate with, and that will make that connection stronger.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think it works.
I wonder if that's happening. Can you hand me my water? I think this tea's a little strong. I wonder if this is happening anyway. Like if you're not making it happen, is this a natural thing that happens?
Yeah, and the only thing you're doing is that, if the flow, for whatever reason, maybe you don't feel well, or maybe there's just something going on, and that energy field is a little askew, just like your body's energy field can be askew. If you don't feel, then you can just kind of get it back flowing right by just doing the figure eights.
Again, as I've told you before, you access this power through your imagination. But imagination is the bridge from one reality to another, from one realm to another, and that's how you access all kinds of things, including, a place to meet your guides, for example, for people that want to do that. Even though I've warned you about overly doing that, it's also a way to connect to your own future, to help manifest. And again, whenever you do use your imagination for these things, you don't do it like you're doing the figure out thing. You don't do it like this. It don't work. And you have to do it like this. And it's hard when a person is nervous, or they tend to be obsessive about things, or, nervous. Oh my God, you just can't do that when you're nervous. Gotta work on your breathing. And as I've taught you before about the 4-7-8 technique to help maybe calm yourself a little bit,
and that's inhale on the count of 4, hold for 7, and then exhale
for 8. Yeah, okay. And you do that, and it won't hurt, and it might actually help settle you a little bit. But you can maybe then kind of, and if you don't never know what to ask for, like you're trying to, again, envision, you need something to happen, but you don't know what, or you think you need something to happen, and it's maybe not what's best. Always ask your higher power, show me what to ask for. I think that our higher power puts desires in our heart. Goal, or you get a desire to do maybe date a certain kind of person or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Well, earlier this week you texted me a photo of you, and you look very distraught, and you're holding up a pack of cornbread. And so you said that had something to do with the timeline shift?
Okay, I swear I wish I still had it, but it's gone. All right, I am not making too many of my sentences begin. I am not making this up. And I am not.
And many of them end with, and I'm not taking that back.
No, I'm not. Anyway, what happened was I wanted to make some beans, and for most Southern people, you have to have cornbread, and I just didn't feel like, I don't know what's wrong with me anymore. We all have to have prayer meeting for Miss Angela, I think, because I don't have energy for nothing. But anyway, I wasn't making pintos. I was actually making, for my Sunday dinner, cabbage and black-eyed peas and soupy taters. and I needed cornbread to put the sweet potatoes on. God, it was so good. I wish I had some right now. But anyway, I wanted to just buy the cornbread, and I go, and I asked the guy at Bilo at the bakery, "Do you all have cornbread?" Because I'd seen it. He said, "Yeah, right there." And I looked, and honestly, it looked like a sweet cake, like a little kind of a flat pound
Yeah.
cake. Not buying it again because that's what it tasted like too. I don't want sweet cornbread with my savory goods. But anyway, the point of this story is, it's a little clear pack, and it's full of the bread, and it's taped down and everything. And I went ahead and get it. Got home that evening because I was cooking it some day. I go to get it, and Kim, I swear to goodness, I am not making this up, but it looked like a full row had been cut out. Nobody here but James and me, but the label had not been disturbed. It had not been opened. And it's like, I know they didn't sell me 3/4 of a pack, and it was so glaringly obvious. I couldn't have not seen it. I mean, I'm asking myself, did I not see it? And I mean, why would they get? No, I am telling you, I had a full. The thing was full, as it you know fit that pan, but there was an entire row not there.
Wow.
And that freaked me out. I went flying in there to James. He was laying in bed watching TV or something. And just held it up. "Do you see this?" I didn't do it. I didn't. I said, "I know you did. I know you didn't do it because the label was undisturbed." But I am telling you that thing was full. It was a full pan.
I guess, and Angela from an alternate reality must like that kind of cornbread better than you do.
Or just
she already got into it.
Or, I don't even know. I think I have a prankster spirit. There's all kinds of things that we are not really privy to. I don't think it's like our realm and their realm. It's our realm and their realm and their realm and their realm and their realm, and maybe infinite into infinity. Speaking of infinity, I've decided that my new name around here that I'm going to inform Dylan of this evening is I am inevitable. What's that guy's name? The Thoros, it's the Avenger. I am inevitable, because anytime I find any more toys or anything else that's out where they're not supposed to be, they're going to be gone. They're going in the garbage or to the charity or to the hidey hole if they're expensive until I get over it. That's neither here nor there. I just thought of that today.
But
I am Thanos. I am Thanos.
You are inevitable.
That's what Thanos says.
Okay.
And now that's what Gigi says.
Okay.
I am inevitable. You
All
leave
right.
your crap laying around.
I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a weird experience this morning that I think is one of those timeline shift, alternate reality things. I got this morning, and Ellen is working in Atlanta, so I'm talking on the phone with her, and she in Atlanta. And you walk around and you're just looking out the window. And I looked out the back window, and we have 2 bird feeders on these shepherd hooks out there, and they're plastic ones I got at Gibbs Hardware in Old Fort. So I mean, they're not the greatest thing in the world, but they tend to come unscrewed on the bottom if a bear or a raccoon gets in them at night. So I looked out there, and the yellow one there, sure enough, it's dangling, and the bottom one's just halfway hanging off. And I thought, well, when I go out to do the bird seed, I'm going to have to fix that. So going about my business, and a little bit later, I go and look out the kitchen window again, because there's turkeys out there and squirrels, and I like to look at them in the morning. I look out there again, and the bird feeder was perfectly intact, hanging exactly like it should. Which totally freaked me out, because I'm like, I know that thing was torn apart. I saw it. I was going to call Angela and tell her, but I thought I'll tell her when I come over there for us to do the live stream. So I called Ellen to tell her, and she said, "You're not going to believe this." She said, "Last time I was home, that happened to me. The exact same thing." But she said, "I didn't tell you because I thought it was just my imagination."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't surprise me a bit. Your place out there, and I think it's all over these storied mountains, as the guy that wrote the book said. I think there's all kinds of pockets of places where there's shifts in energy and magical things and whatnot.
Yeah, and I think at the way the energy's changing on the planet right now, that stuff's becoming a little more prevalent, I guess, or noticeable, maybe.
Oh, and in case you're wondering about Thanos, the reason he's inedible, he's a destroyer of worlds. He goes in and takes out most of the population.
Oh, okay.
Which might make more sense to you now. I just assume that you know what I know. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, okay. Well, you didn't send me many texts this week about things you wanted to talk about, but we got a few suggestions.
Too busy napping.
You did say you wanted to talk about something about dreams, but But Blanca sent us some stuff too. Maybe you want to just go ahead and do that. Blanca suggested we talk about zombies. I don't know that we've ever talked about zombies.
She actually sent a couple of links. Maybe Shannon can, Blanca can go ahead and put a link down there that she sent me. But she's sending me stuff that talks about, people that have done really crazy destructive things, but then they have no drugs or whatever in their system. But you've probably heard about that one guy that they found. He was like gnawing on some poor person's face they had killed, and there was no bath salts, no nothing in their system. So I don't know if those people have become, just seriously mentally ill. They or have schizophrenic, severe schizophrenic thing, or what, or demon possession, which is kind of where I'm leaning, if you want to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Or in fact, maybe they are, their soul skipped out and some other one did. I don't know. I am not educated in that. I can only tell you that as much as anybody else gets freaked out, I'm freaked out too. It does feel to me like a soul skipping thing, which I've never used those words together, but it does feel like their soul is not, it's not even there. It feels like another one has taken over, and it makes me wonder if their soul comes back, what are they going to find? What has been happening to their to their reality? So I don't even know what to say about that.
I've been interested. Walking Dead, the most prominent example, but zombies. When we were growing up, there's lots of zombie movies and stuff like that.
I hate zombies, by the way. I just want you to know that, and thank you, Shannon, very much for bringing that up. But
yeah, they creep me out too. But in recent years, they've really re-emerged as in our popular fiction
because of the zombie apocalypse that's coming, and because
people, wait a minute, you can't just drop that and move on. What do you mean?
Everybody knows about the zombie apocalypse.
Oh,
and that's why
should I go get more toilet paper?
Probably. Good luck with that. Even though I don't believe in the zombie apocalypse, every time I think about moving, one of the first things in my mind is how I'm going to shore up the windows and stuff for the zombie apocalypse, because it's been planted in my head now.
When we look at houses, I will X one right off the list if it has a lot of glass doors.
Well, I don't do that. I just try to figure out where I'm going to store the plywood so that I can have it, put up, whenever that time comes, because that time is going to come. I'm going to have to hole up,
Did you know on the way here, for some reason, I got into this whole inner dialogue about how exactly people board up their windows and how do you do that without damage. I mean, I had this whole inner dialogue how to do that.
Do not be alarmed. The zombie apocalypse is coming, but it's okay. We may be the ones having to break into other people's houses, so.
So we're the zombies.
See, I've also had that plan too. What was going to happen when the crap hits the fan? Because I'm thinking I'm not going to have enough food to last us, so I'll move near a grocery store. And Westcourt needs to watch out for me, because when it hits, I'm going to loot.
Ever since I've known her, she has talked about, that's one reason she doesn't want to move out into the country, because she's afraid that she won't be close enough to go loot somewhere.
I need to be. I've laid awake at night and thought about I'm going to loot, get my buggy, get my arm, and just go down the aisle and just kind of rake everything into it as I go down. Or I've told James, no, James, you go for the meats and the things, and I'll go for the canned goods, and then I get stuck in my brain as to what canned goods do I need to get, and I swear it's like it comes a whole thing inside my brain.
My first priority is cat food.
Oh my God! See, I think about that too. I actually think about I need to also.
Because you can't explain to them, hey, it's going to be skimpy.
I'll assign I'll assign Dylan to the. Dylan, when we loot, you go for the cat and dog food, and just elbow anybody your way.
Okay, so you got a couple of guys here. What's this about?
No, let's do this right. There they are.
That's pretty spooky. It reminds me of that old TV movie that had Karen Black in it. Remember the little voodoo doll that attacked her? Classic,
No, I don't remember that one.
Anyway, it's classic.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't remember it right off.
Yeah. So anyway, where'd these come from?
This came from New Orleans. And Gail, my friend Gail, gave them to me. If she comes on, maybe she can remember them. And I think she got them when she was from down in there. She's from near New Orleans. That place that starts with the N, NOLA. And she gave them to me, and I put them up for decoration because, I've got people give me stuff, and I've got stuff from all over the world, but I had to they're going away now.
Okay, so you're playing with them and laughing, but do you feel anything
I'm
off
scared
of
of them.
these?
I had to take them off the wall. I got my bedroom filled with baby dolls, but they went too far. However, having said that, people that think that they're the curse, and I think we talked about this before. I told you, I think on here, about how Jamie had one time. Don't ask me where she got one. She's just a little kid. And she hated this girl at school, like, a little adolescent kind of thing. And she, did something to its belly. She named it that girl. Next day, that girl had to go home sick with a bellyache. And she was really repentful. And even though she still didn't like that kid, she was scared and she never did anything like that again. But actually, they're supposed to be used for healing. And so what you do is you name this the person, and you might want to put some of their hair and
Oh, no, you don't. No
put
way.
some of their hair on there or whatever. And then, like, say they had a tummy ache, then you would take this pen and you would use it to direct that healing.
It's like acupuncture
Yeah.
removed.
God, I might could do this for me.
Yeah.
Only I'd rather use like Chatty Cathy
See,
instead.
yeah, I wouldn't let. But I was just thinking, if you can do that to somebody else, why not do it for yourself
I don't see why
in
not.
a very healing way?
I do not see why not. But yeah, and of course, if you're looking at the darker things, people might believe that you could capture someone's soul. I think in this too. I'm sorry, I just remember Gilligan's Island.
I love that episode.
Oh my God, do y'all remember Gilligan's Island when the witch doctor made voodoo dolls of all of them, and they were like being slug around. I mean, whatever he was doing to them, they were doing in real life. That was like a powerful voodoo doll. Right
Y'all,
now.
I met Dawn Wells, who played Marianne. High point of my life, I met Marianne.
See,
and she was absolutely delightful.
I could look at their friends now. I'm going to put them back in their drawer. I really do like these because I like having unusual
So voodoo
things.
is a real thing.
Voodoo is a religion. It's based a lot of it on Catholicism, and a lot of it on other African stuff, and a mix, a hodgepodge, you might say. But so it's actually a real thing as far as the religion goes. And like anything else, if you put the power of your mind behind it, and you've got the power of more than one person putting the power behind it, I'm sure it's got all grades of energy there that's actually valid and real. So I don't know what else to tell you on that deal. But I think that can you do curses and stuff like that? We've talked about before, and I said, I'm not really worried about it. But you know what? I think that there is power to that, but you have to allow it in. You have to kind of be vulnerable to that.
How do you get it out if it gets in?
I don't think it would. I think if it gets in, you're too far gone to know the difference. But I would say you need to find somebody that you believe in to help you to cleanse your energy, to get back to your balanced self. But basically, you've got this is your body. You control your body, and you need to shore that up. Nobody's going to come in your house and kick your butt out, and if you don't open the door to them to begin with. You have to remember this is mine. But just like somebody can send. Oh, my shirt is getting on my nerves. Somebody could send you a hateful text. Am I buttoned correctly? Please tell me I didn't go out all messed up button.
Yeah, you look okay.
I do that. I go out with my shirt on backwards and everything, wrong side out and everything else. I'm trying to do better.
Who cares?
But anyway, what was I talking about?
You know what? You've totally distracted me with the shirt. But you're talking about if a curse or some kind of negative energy gets inside of you, and I was asking you, how do you get
Somebody
rid of it?
could send you like a hateful message, or somebody could ruin your whole day by just throwing some hateful remark at you or something, cause you to get all anxiety ridden and obsessed. So sometimes you can break into somebody's energy just by kind of saying some silliness that some troll gets next to you or whatever, and it can set up an energy.
Because that pain or that injury kind of opens up a place.
It makes hurt your feelings, and then it's like, as you said, it's like a vibrational thing that kind of creates a cracking energy, and people or ugliness can seep in there, which is why you got to really put a whole lot of energy into doing something good. You have to kind of talk to yourself. This is something I've been telling people a lot of lately, again, as I always have too. You got to treat yourself a little bit better. People get treated badly sometimes as children, and they have traumatic childhoods, or they had just certain things happen, and then they grow up, they just keep wanting to make that happen because that's what they're used to. It's normal. It feels weird when you're not being beat up, Okay, it feels weird if everything is peaceful, and so if something else don't come along and destroy their peace, they'll destroy it themselves by making a bad decision, by investing in the wrong kind of person or whatever, because you can't take that anxiety you feel when it is normal. It's like you wait for the axe to fall, and so sometimes you just make it fall so that you can at least breathe. The bad thing happened, I'm okay at least for a while now. And then you get like me, you get older and you look back and think all that wasted time when I didn't have to. I always tell people they should listen to Tom Petty. You don't have to live like a refugee, because I think we do. I think too many of us, we live as refugees because somewhere somebody might have kicked us around some. But you know what? You gotta breathe. Surround yourself with good people. Let your injuries heal a little bit. Don't pick at a sore. Don't pick at a sore. Let yourself heal, and then focus on something lovely. Focus on something good. And if you find it's really penetrating in there and you're having a hard time getting rid of it, get somebody to help you. Get somebody to pray for you. See a therapist. Use visualization to remove whatever ugly thing they might have put on you. Cleanse your energy. Look at here. I've told you, don't move. I've told you before. Here's how you kind of cleanse an energy. Like, I'm going to put my hand here until I can feel her. Now, sometimes I might have to touch a person, and sometimes it's like I can feel them across the room. You can do this. Anyway, you get a hold of them. There it is. And I can feel it. So I can think of it like a magnet maybe pulling. And I can pull her energy out, or I can smooth it. Now, I might get around here and feel like, oh, there's something not right. I'm not saying this. I'm just pretending, okay? Oh, there's something not right here. Maybe there's a hot spot, or maybe there's a cold spot, or maybe there's a lump. Anyway, you can take and just, actually there is a little something right here, but I've took care of it. Anyway, you can just do this, and then you got to kind of pull that energy out. Anyway, you can do it to yourself. One of my friends told me a long time ago, she practiced this, and the way she practiced it, she made a ball in her hands, okay? And you can just kind of sit until you can finally get a hold of you can practice it, and you finally get where you might feel a ball. Now, what I do too is I put my hand on my leg, on my thigh, and I can feel like something pushing up on my hand. But that'll help you get a hold of your astral body, you might say. Did I ever give them any techniques on how to do out of body, how to,
yeah.
Okay,
I've got the ball. What I did.
This is just something that you practice until you get good at feeling it. And once you know how to feel that, then you can take that energy and then start maybe working on your own body, because you know what it feels like now. Mm-hmm. But you practice this to kind of keep in touch, to keep that sensitivity open. And then, like I said, you can cleanse your energy. You can cleanse your friends or whatever. You can feel like if you got somebody with a hurt, you'll actually feel like a vacuum. And actually, you do it to animals. And a chiropractor told me, speaking of animals too, she says you can push like near their tail, where their tail, right there, space their spine. You can kind of do a little pumping thing back there if they don't mind, and that keeps a lot of that spinal fluid going up and down too. I tell you that for no reason, but yeah.
And you would do that in their energy field.
Yeah, you just you touch them.
Okay,
you're like petting your dog. You're petting your dog. You just go right there and you can just kind of do a little pumping thing. They usually like it.
Okay.
Having said I know nothing about the healing arts, I'm trained in nothing. This is just something I have learned through the years that can maybe help somebody or not help. They don't hurt. I'm not going to tell you anything that's going to hurt. Okay, just so you know.
So when you're cleansing your own energy, is there any visualization that you should be doing too?
You know what? I want to say visualize what you wish, because everybody's different. While some people might want to visualize like let's say they've got a white field around them, and they might want to say that they do this. They're imagining like dirt and gray, and maybe they're imagining that they're raking it off and shooting it out there to just raking it off. But somebody else might just want to go by feel. And somebody else might want to envision, God knows what. Everybody should go. You are most, in my opinion, again, not been taught anything, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but most people, I think, most people are just alike in one way, and everybody's different in another way. So what you want to do is you want to do whatever visualization maybe fits you. Now, I have an uncle, and he is a very, very good man, very strong Christian man. He's more fundamental than, what I would be. But he will tell you to envision, like, for example, somebody with a clogged artery, because he's a healer, and he'll look in your eyes and tell you what's wrong with you. but he'll also give you techniques to maybe help you. But let's just say, for example, somebody might get diagnosed, they got like maybe some blockage in a artery or something. I'm just throwing it out there. He wouldn't tell you. Now what he would do, and this might not be the visualization I would use, but he says like, you imagine a machine maybe with a thing on the end of it, and imagine that thing, you get real relaxed first though. And you imagine that you're kind of looking in there at your body, and you imagine that little machine, and you imagine it just going around there, just drilling right through it. Or, somebody else might imagine a fire hose, and somebody else might imagine that it's just getting very soft and just melts gently, gently. Everybody's got their own way. But you do those things, and it can help maybe harness your energy to work for your own physical healing, and it's not going to hurt. And I think that, now with James, as you know, he's disabled and gallgrades and things wrong with him, and basically he had his issue with the gallbladder, and who knows, he could drop dead tomorrow or whatever. Anybody could. But I've been like doing this rubbing thing. I wait till he goes to sleep because people will resist you. It scares them. But so I'm just rubbing his side, and I'm just like imagining. I'm not imagining anything specific. I'm just kind of thinking about that and rubbing and imagining that the universe is sending down light through my body, through my hand. And I always ask for God to help me, of course. But anyway, he went and got a new x-ray, and it's gone. The problem he had, it's disappeared, it's gone. It's like one of the things that don't get gone, but,
Wow.
But of course now he could, like I said, drop dead tomorrow. Who knows? But that happened. I'm not saying, oh, look what I did. I'm saying, look what you can do. Okay, that's what I'm saying, look what you can do. But with me, I have to I do better if I can sneak up on people. Because when somebody, I'm not going to talk about it no more. I feel like I'm being boring now.
No, it's very interesting.
Well, I don't know if it is or not, but I like to sneak up on people because, too, you can like tell somebody you're going to work a little healing stuff on them right now. And sometimes they will actually, their defenses come up, and it's like it scares them, or they maybe they're supposed to have their maybe this is part of their human experience, is to have this sort of thing that they're going to deal with. But, and
Or their soul contract.
Most of the times they're going to be just freaking scared of you. And what I do when I see people now, if I feel something wrong with them, I don't say nothing. I feel like I get the permission. I don't know how to tell, I just know if I got it. And I do what I do, and I don't say nothing. And then if they come back and tell me they're better, they don't have a clue that maybe I was doing a little something. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they ain't going to make any difference, because some people are meant to be healed. I told you about that girl that time I was healing her foot. Did I tell him about that?
I think so, but it's been a while.
Well, I'm going to tell you again.
Yeah.
God, I'm droning on.
No, you're not. This is very good stuff.
I cannot take much more myself. But anyway, this old gal came to see me, and she was she wasn't some old gal. She's actually a young girl. I was actually a young woman at that time.
That's such a country thing to say. Some old gal.
Anyway, we're both old gals now. I don't even remember, and I hope she won't mind me telling. I don't even know who she was. But anyway, I know she was Wicca and all that kind of stuff, and I found it very interesting. But anyway, she was coming to see me, and I was over there listening to her, and I thought, her foot feels wrong. And I thought, I'm going to shoot her a little healing energy over there. And so I'm not saying nothing. And I did, and when I did, I got shocked. And she grabbed her foot at the same time. And she said, oh, my foot. And I said, oh, me, my whole self. And what it was, it was a reminder, because she had put so much energy. And that's all spells are. It's just energy. Everything that exists is energy. Move energy by your mind, okay? That she had forgotten to leave room for anything good, any blessings to come in. And I forgot to ask permission. But it also was a very good lesson, because it taught me to remember that some people you have to let them know, you have to have permission. You got to sneak up on them. Sometimes you just sneak up on them. But you know that it worked. That's the point of this story. She felt, there's no way in heck she could have felt what I was doing. Wasn't talking about that. She's across the room, just like this other dude come to see me, and I was doing something to him, and he was talking about, I have no idea what he's talking about, but he said, oh, you're on my gallbladder. Well, I about had a heart attack, because I'm thinking, how did he know it's on his gallbladder? Because again, I wouldn't tell him. He didn't mind. He was actually grateful, because in fact he had a gallbladder issue. But the thing is, it also bothered me a little bit, because I thought, I want to do more, better, deeper, and I can't. That's not my thing. I wish I could. I have to, as I said, I've had people come with cancer in the left, they didn't, okay? but there's no point in you coming up here to the house because I can't just do it because somebody told me to. It's just a thing that happens. It's just a thing that happens. I wish
through you.
it happened, and I'm just a conduit. I am only a conduit. And my thing is, like my uncle's, is basically to tell people how to do things for themselves. You know.
What about?
I'm sorry if I'm boring you
No,
today.
no. This is very helpful stuff. What about the healing of the emotional body? Can you do that for yourself?
I think that's the only person that can do that for you. And I think, again, you do that through visualization, through friendships, and I think with others, and through possibly, therapy. I'm all about, having experienced it myself. And, when a person's been emotionally injured, sometimes they need somebody that knows a little bit more than they do to help give them some maybe added insights or techniques or whatnot to work through that.
Okay. Okay. That's something we didn't even say think we're going to talk about. That's good stuff. Oh yeah. I told you that on the way here today, I saw a ghost, and you said, and this is an opening for you to talk about ghosts because that's something that popped up late in the morning that you might want to talk about, and that's just overarching thing. We talk about ghosts a lot, but let me tell you all what happened on my way here. I was coming down or up, I guess, Zion Hill Road here in McDowell County, and I looked over to the right as I was there approaching the church over at the graveyard. I said, what caught my eye was a man in the graveyard, and he had like a sport jacket on, like a corduroy or a tweed kind of jacket, a little bit heavier than a suit jacket, a little more casual. And I thought, they're probably they're getting ready to dig a grave or something up there. I bet they're going to have a funeral. And I just thought that for a minute, and then I kind of come over this rise, and then I looked back over the graveyard, and there was nobody there. And there was no car. There was no place where this person could have disappeared to. It's the plainest quote-unquote ghost I think I've ever seen.
That reminds me of, as I've already told y'all before, about that lady I saw when wasn't looking for nobody that late at night, and it's the lady sitting over there at the table. I think sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time for the right energy. And, these things may be up there all the time, but they're just out of our vision. But, some animals like cats, for example, and maybe I think actually mice can actually are able to see the cones in their eyes are made in such a way that they can see light in a way that we can't. And I think because of that, why is my phone doing this? I actually cut it off. Did I cut it back on by accident? Okay, evidently I cut it off and back on. So anyway, I think that Shannon just, she, instead of posting here, she just sent me a thing that graveyard you've seen zombie Ange. I don't remember seeing a zombie at a graveyard. She might be saying you did. I don't think, but that movie, Shannon and I went to the movie to see the old zombie, the original
Night
zombie
of the Living
movie.
Dead.
Oh my God, it creeps me out. I don't even like talking about because I start thinking about that movie. It has creeped me out more than any other movie about anything. Just creeps is the only word that is possible to even use. I hate it. What was we talking about anyway?
Well, we were talking about
ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think that's, sometimes people say, you're afraid of cemeteries, and not particularly, but most of the time I find them to be extremely calm and calm places, a place of meditation. But I also think that sometimes people do not want to maybe go away from their body. They do hang out there. And sometimes, especially maybe people that are haven't been gone that long, and I do think sometimes they do manifest. Maybe they're visiting their own remains or waiting for people that are coming there to talk to them. Maybe that can maybe have a little bit better connection there. I don't know. But I think that's very interesting, and that's a good that you are able to see that.
Well, just look like a guy.
It makes you wonder, though, how many things that maybe we're seeing and we don't look back and see it. So we just go on with our lives, just seeing some guy on the side of the road, when we might have actually seen something amazing beyond belief, but we didn't get the follow-up, so we don't know.
Yeah, I'd say that probably happens a lot. Okay, so and you texted me something about dreams. Did you what did you want to say about dreams?
Yeah, I had posted on here, and that reminded me too, by the way, that I gotta say, that there's this, I was going out with the other Kim. You've become original Kim, by the way, now. And she's
I
become
like that.
other Kim.
We're not seeing any comments. I wonder if there's something that's...
Yeah, if anybody's still on there, please let us know.
Oh, yeah,
you're
they're
still
there, but it's just like there's no comments. Maybe everybody's just...
I think that nobody's commenting today.
Okay, it's all right.
But comment somebody so I know you're there. Just let us know you're there. But anyway...
I just didn't want to be missing some, you know.
No, honestly, I know they usually say, hey.
Yeah.
So, people, we're not getting any of your comments. I don't know what's going on. You know, that's weird because they do say, hey, so I don't know what's happening. People, we're not getting your comments is all I can tell you. And keep trying or...
Okay, dreams.
Let me see if there's something right here. No, I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
I think that we came to this a different way than we usually do. What was I talking about now, dreams?
Dreams, yeah.
I have no idea. Oh, yeah. I had posted... No, I was going to say first that we were all commenting. Looky here. Shannon says we were all commenting, and your comments are not showing up. I have no idea what is going on. As I said before, I'm not even able to download this properly to post it. I found a way around it so I can post it on my site for later. But thank you all for commenting, and thank you, Shannon, for letting me know because I was about to get my feelings.
Yeah, I'm sorry we can't see them. We'll go back and look at them when we're done, and if there's anything we need to carry over to next week, we will.
They're not even showing up. That we got people that have joined, and that is it. And I don't see any setting that will... I don't have a clue.
Might be an internet connection kind of thing. Who knows?
Well...
Or it could be a ghost.
Would not surprise me. But anyway...
All right.
I'm leaving, and I see this dude walking towards my house, and I told other Kim, I said, you know... That guy's going to look for James. That looks like the kind of guy that would look for James. And the reason I think that is because I'm seeing him. Looks like he'd been dipped in coal dust, like random coal dust everywhere. I do not know why. On rare occasions, I see people like that. Rare. But when I see that, I know it's probably an unsavory kind of character, right? Or smoke. And she said, what? I said, the guy. She turned around. There was no guy at all. But I feel like that was a wandering spirit that maybe is in that area out there that maybe come to a very bad end in a fire.
And where was this?
Out on Nix Creek, where I used to live.
Okay.
But anyway, what was we talking? You used to tell me I was getting ready. Dreams. Yeah, I posted on here because I had a very weird dream. I don't even remember the details, but I know the way it made me feel when I woke up. And then when my kid woke up at the same time having a bad dream, and actually come into my room and woke me up, which was kind of a relief. And then James, I think he said he was having restless, where I posted, anybody else having any bad dreams last night or weird dreams? And it's like everybody and their brother evidently did. And then I didn't take the post down. And so for several days later, there was a whole lot of people talking about how they were having all these terrible dreams. And so I don't know. I think something about this energy right now. It's like I think there's maybe a lot of look at here. Shannon just sent us the thing. There's a lot of out of body experiencing going on, and people are maybe doing that. That they are having these things happening, and they're bringing it back to their dream state.
Mm.
I'm really glad to see that people are commenting. Thank you, Shannon, for sending this. And
just sorry that for whatever reason
she says
they're not
it's
showing
freezing some too. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I want to actually see if I can.
Maybe
sign
it was
in.
my Ooga Booga I did at the beginning to strengthen our connection. Maybe
maybe
it was reverse Ooga Booga.
Maybe it was something else.
Well, you know what? And they've been laying right under the computer the whole time.
Maybe they don't like living in the drawer and the secretary in the hall.
Hey,
maybe.
Let me ask you a question. I want to see what you think about this. Earlier, I was talking about Donna Eden, the lady who does the energy medicine and can see energy. I watched a presentation of hers the other night, a real current one, and she said she can see auras as well, and she can see the aura of the planet. And she said the aura of the Earth, the color, is changing. She said her whole life it's been a violet color, and it is changing to blue.
I can believe that. I absolutely do, and it's funny because she just sent another text saying that we were both yellow green. I noticed that, and I'm actually glad to hear it because I was concerned that maybe
Well, I've been my stomach's been a little bit upset.
I thought maybe my liver has finally gone, and that she says that our voices are coming, our voice, and I'm sorry, people, I don't know what to tell you.
What, our voices are doing what?
Like in a foreign movie,
Like we've been dubbed?
yeah, we're being dubbed.
So when I go, when the Kim goes,
Yeah, then
and
later.
then later you hear, yes.
That's funny. We should be able to get somebody else to come in and say
We could do
the words like
the bad lip reading
I'd
stuff.
like to have a very deep male voice, maybe come around and say do my voice and
Okay, so you say you can see, or you can buy into the idea that the color of the Earth's aura is changing. So,
everything that exists, I mean, has this vibration, and as the Earth is changing, of course, the vibration changes, and some people may see that as color. And actually, I'm sure, because I think, as I've told you before, that it is a living entity, and I have no doubt, none, that it has its own aura, and so that doesn't surprise me at all.
yeah, and she was saying that that's another reason that she thinks that everything is so chaotic right now is because of those Earth changes, which we've talked about in just slightly different.
Sorry, I was turning this on. Look, now we got you on my phone, so we can actually see your comments now as we go along. And Judy Leopard said she saw a skinny ragged boy going to a store and knew she didn't need it fit in it. Okay, that's very intriguing.
Yeah, we'll read the whole thing.
And that she saw a very tall man dressed in all black, long black beard and hair. He strolled in and everybody was freaking out, and she watched him, felt in her heart the second guy was there first. She felt they were spirits or from a different time or a time warp, and I think so too. I also think what we see sometimes as spirits are just like in a time warp, where we're actually catching a glimpse of another time, which I sent you an email about that, I believe, or a text.
You did. You sent me a text that was a link to a very scientific article about quantum physics, and I didn't print it out because there's no way I could condense it into just a few sentences. But the takeaway was the scientists are now looking at what we're talking about, and like you guys have been talking about and thinking about for a long time, and saying, yeah, this phenomenon is real, and quantum physics is embracing this now. That's pretty much what that came down to.
This is on a time delay, look, too, because I'm actually watching this live while we're doing it live, and it's behind. It's a very strong delay because it's several seconds behind.
In relation to what we're just talking about, one of the articles that I found this week feeds into what we're talking about. Physicists say that parallel universes definitely exist, and we may soon explore them. Well, I say we explore them every day, accidentally.
That is intriguing. I wonder who would have the nerve, the courage to actually be able to do that. Are we going to explore them through like our telescopes or our microscopes? Or are we going to explore them by somehow inventing a way to open and stepping through?
I would say the second one is true, and I think, we talked before about CERN, that big scientific project that's in Switzerland. I think I might have called it DARPA the day we talked about it, but CERN. I think that's what they're doing there. They're literally playing with reality there.
It's kind of horrifying.
Yeah. Hopefully it's for good, but you know what I think about that. But this physicist named Sean Carroll was just talking about how watching particle behavior, like electrons and photons, they don't have, what they found out is they don't have one set location in the universe. They can be multiple places at one time. Mm-hmm. So taking that to its logical, path, then they exist in these places at the same time. And so if they do, then we do.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's really, I don't know. We are really at the edge of a brave new world. But I just hope it goes, all of this new energy and all this new insight and openness to ideas. I just hope we go in the right direction with it.
We won't. Oh, good gosh. When have we ever gone in the right direction with anything?
But at some point, don't we have to?
After we've destroyed stuff and we see what we've done, then usually there's people that will step up and try to put a stop to it.
Maybe we're about there, aren't we?
Oh, I think we've been here repeatedly throughout our history. I sometimes wonder about that too, like how many civilizations that we don't know about maybe have existed and were put into oblivion. Maybe I've always thought from other worlds, as I've said repeatedly, but maybe even on this world, I think this is what we do. This is what we do best. We even like assign that to other cultures. We think that some of the alien beings that maybe are visiting this world are traveling through space and whatnot because they haven't already destroyed their own world. They are looking for another world with resources. And I just thought that was very interesting to me that our people put out having destroyed their own world as if it's inevitable for an intelligent species to exist and not destroy their own world. And I'm sure that that does happen, but I also think that although Thoros and my cleaning of Dylan's toys might be inevitable, Thanos, I don't think that destroying your planet actually has to be, but evidently it is, so never mind. I just contradicted myself. Evidently for human beings, we are inevitable. Anyway.
Karen, I was just reading your comment about using auras in your writing, using the colors of auras to reveal stuff about the characters. That's just a whole realm that you can explore. I wish I could see auras. I have known people who could see them, but
I rarely see them. I've seen maybe once or twice, but I think it occurred to me, I think what I do is kind of like an energetic braille. I don't see your
energetic
color.
braille. I love that.
Yeah, I think what I do is I just feel and read and I feel the knots and the voids because as I was telling you before, you can feel a knot in somebody's energy and you could go away across the room with it maybe, and sometimes it's a void that pulls you in. You felt my energy one time. You said I felt like a porcupine. I'm not over that, by the way.
I have no memory of that.
Oh, I do. You feel like a porcupine. You got spikes coming out everywhere. And I thought, well, thank you very much. I was just trying to get
Really?
calm. I don't think I do now. I probably did, to be honest. I don't think you were wrong. I just didn't want to hear that.
I don't feel that now.
Well, I've evolved.
Yeah, you've evolved into Aunt B. Everything's all smoothed out. Okay. Do you want to say anything about coronavirus?
No.
Okay.
Listen to the CDC and follow their whatever recommendations that you get from there. And if you do get it, for God's sake, stay away from rest homes and hospitals and the elderly,
Mm-hmm. You don't have any feeling about it or anything, just is.
I feel like it's a long time in coming. I'm wildly surprised it took as long as it did. I'm hoping that it can be contained, but I don't think it will be. I'm thinking it'll be maybe bad, but maybe not as bad as they fear.
Well, and when you look back in retrospect, the swine flu, whatever year that was, actually killed more people than I remembered that it did. And we made it through that. So
Oh, yeah, we're going to make it. It's just, I worry very badly about the elderly,
Me too. Now we're the elderly. Yeah. Now when I hear them say people over 60 should, and I thought, oh, okay.
And I worry about like in Seattle, getting into a rest home or something. Somebody's mom, dad, and papa's out there in that place. It's scary because that's not I can't stand it when people have lived their whole lives and then maybe the best they can just to go out with something like that. But whatever. Anyway, I think it's we gotta listen and wash your hands and don't touch your face, said the person who's constantly rubbing their eyes. So
I've seen. I think it's Blanca was talking about somebody else saying that they really liked Hellier. Is that on Amazon?
Yeah,
Prime?
I think so.
I've looked into that because I think it was Julie that recommended that before, and I haven't gotten around to watching it.
Me either.
I need to do that. Okay. Got news articles here, but I think we'll carry them over because we're getting close to the hour mark. I wanted to share one other thing, if you don't mind. It's something that I found really helpful. A lot of times you hear, if any of you guys have read or done any work with Louise Hay's stuff, she's a woman that has all the affirmations and.
Yeah, I have a friend up in New Jersey that talks about her quite a bit. Used to.
Well, she did wonderful, wonderful work, and Hay House is still doing wonderful work in her memory. But she's all about the affirmations, and I was reading this other thing and saying that sometimes affirmations are difficult because you push back against them. Like, you may not feel good about yourself, and you look in the mirror and go, I am beautiful and I'm perfect, and you have an ego that pushes back.
You're lying. You feel like you're lying.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not effective. I mean, you can get there, but you'd have to be repeating it 24/7. But here's a technique that I just tried yesterday and manifested an event just like that. And it is to use the words what if. Like, that way you get past that sensor that goes, oh no no no. What if and so you can do something like, instead of saying, today I'm going to really impress the boss today, and you've got that pushback that goes, no you're not. He doesn't like you. But what if you say, what if today's the day that I really impress the boss?
I like that.
And it goes around that, and therefore allows you more freedom, emotionally, to create that.
I like it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I agree. I'm going to endorse that 110%. And another thing to add to that too is, as I've told you repeatedly, when you're psychically powerful, when you're half awake, half asleep, when you're in that almost dream state. And so that is, here's your message, Kim. Kind of as you're drifting off, imagine yourself feeling beautiful, or imagine yourself making your deposit, or imagine, what I like to do is say, show me what to ask for. It's already said. And maybe just lightly daydream as you're drifting off, lightly, or you talk to the boss, today's the day I do impress you. But lightly as you're really in the zone, and then let it go. That's another thing we don't do, Kim. When we do that kind of affirmation and stuff, we don't let it go. We put it out there, but we keep hanging on to it. And as you were kind of referring to, in a way, really, we're pulling it right back.
Scroll back up there. I was looking at what? Not this way. So.
I noticed that my phone is also, the battery is going down like insane. It was like at 80%. It's down to 10.
Julie says, I use affirmations and direct them at myself to a divine being. So you're kind of using somebody to work in between. I think that's cool. I mean, just as long as you can get around that ego that says, no, you can't. No, you can't. You're not good enough. The boss does not like you.
I do that too, though. What she's saying there, I have to sometimes separate for myself. And I actually say, now, Angela or Angie or whatever I'm calling myself today, usually Gigi, you've got to, Gigi, this isn't best for you. But you kind of sometimes, if you separate, like you were already talking about, it's kind of separate yourself. Did you see what James was asking you there? You can do better. It's hard when you're like in here absorbing everything, and it's a little tricks, you might say. You play on yourself to get around yourself and get something happening there.
There's another technique that guys can look up if you're interested. It's called the Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT. It's tapping. Hey, look what James just found.
Oh my God!
I'm surprised y'all with it.
That's fun.
Oh my God!
Anyway, let me
go ahead.
Yeah, there's a technique called Emotional Freedom Technique. It's tapping, and that's another way to get around that conscious mind. Is you do your talking to yourself, your affirmations, whatever you want to call it, while you're tapping on certain meridian points, and that way it gets into your body, kind of slips past the conscious mind. But you can check that out. There's bunches of stuff online about EFT, the Emotional Freedom Technique. And look what James just brought in here.
He came up out of the light layer,
Yeah.
the bat layer, as they call it, and he found a picture, and it's kind of gross and disgusting, so I ain't no telling where it's been. And a long time ago, we went to, I think, the Asheville Mall,
Yeah.
and just for the fun of it, we decided to get one of those booths.
When they had the photo booths.
Because we didn't have the phone back then to take selfies.
And if you took pictures, you had to take the film then to the drugstore and wait a week to get them back, get the pictures back.
Oh my God, what happened to
Okay,
me?
show it to them.
I hate it because, man, I've gone downhill, and she's not changed
Oh,
a
good God.
bit. A bit.
So that would have been about
23 years ago. I already know it's 23 years ago. Whatever that year is, I know. Maybe, yeah, there you go. Good gosh. Why didn't somebody tell me I was good looking? And see, I used to be thin. You hadn't changed a bit. You sicken me.
Oh, good grief.
Look at you. You haven't changed a bit. I have like gone downhill. Terrible bad. Terrible bad.
Okay. We've gone over an hour, so let's wrap up by giving you an opportunity to do a quickie like group reading, or give us a flash reading, or
What?
like you usually do. Just like what do we need to know going forward through the rest of
Well, I
it?
think that's what I said at the beginning. I think you're going to find your own psychic ability, which everybody has. Could be a little more astute. You might find yourself looking back and remember where you've been. So that's good, though, because that way you can remember, or rather help you decide where you need to go. The energy might be about healing energy and on our physical body, too. So it's a real good time to be using whatever things that you need to use to help with your physical well-being. And y'all read the comments, because I'm sure there's a lot of helpful advice on these comments too.
Lynn said when we're talking about affirmations and so forth, how about using the affirmation or the confirmation of "I move towards a more perfect me every day, working with the best intentions for myself"? Yeah, definitely. There's some great comments. You guys are just amazing. I love reading what y'all write, and what you say. You know, it's with each other is definitely worth going back and checking out and exploring some of the avenues that people are suggesting. So thank you for that.
And thank y'all for sharing, and we really appreciate you sharing. And as I also said, if you can't find this on our feed and you want to look at it later, my website, AngelaFayeMoore.com, or on my YouTube channel somewhere, just go look for it, because I don't know where it is. I know, I got one.
Just Google. You just Google her.
Google my name, Hillbilly Psychic, and you will find me.
Or Angela Faye Moore.
And whatever.
Yeah.
I'm on there somewhere. And thank you so much. And hopefully, Lord willing, we'll see you in the week. And
if you don't mind me, if there's anything you want us to talk about or subjects you want to discuss next time,
email or message me.
Yeah, just toss them out there, because we love that.
Yeah, we do, because we run out of stuff to talk about. Here we go. And